Welcome back to my channel. This video will be what I learned on my spring semester. If you don't know who I am, hello, my name is Emma. I am a college student, currently a transfer student, so I am attending Phoenix College. I graduated not too long ago. I obtained my associates and I'll be transferring to a university. So if you guys are a incoming freshman or you are a transfer student within yourself, keep on watching. What I learned about my spring semester is I took biology for spring. Biology, it was environmental plants. So we did some multiple field trips. The first field trip we did was we went to do homes for rescued owls. It was in downtown Phoenix, and we did some community service. That was our first field trip. Our second field trip was to go see a dinosaur museum because we were learning about fossils. Our third field trip was doing some pH water testing because that was also one of the chapters that we learned. And our last field trip was we went to Tucson for the Desert Sonoran, I think it's called Botanical Garden. So we drove 2 hours away from Phoenix and we visit there for half the day. And these are field trips that are part of our class and they're part of our grade. You earn credits. So I really like this class because not only were our classes in the lab room, they were also outside, so we got to interact with some of the activities that we got to do. So that's one of the things that I learned for spring semester. Another thing that I learned from spring semester is to value our mother nature and how we should care more about recycling and when to use the recycling bins and what it's recycled and what is not recycled. That's some of the things that I learned. I used to just think that, okay, paper bags, maybe some cans are only things to recycle, but there's just not just those elements. There's other multiple elements that you can be used to recycle. So I was able to learn more about that stuff. Another thing that I learned about is to be more aware of what's going on in our society within nature. I know that there's some stuff going on right now, and we should be more careful. Like, of course, recycling. Make sure you less bags. If you're gonna be in the beach, don't throw like food or anything like that. I know it's starting to become like a more common awareness where animals are getting sick or they're dying because of trash that people throw in the sea. I know that they in Japan or China, I might be wrong, I read in an article where a whale died because he ate over I believe like 59 plastic bags, and it was damaging his lower intestine and his larger intestine. So with that being said, people were not aware of like the things that they throw into the sea that can affect other animals, like fishes, whales, and seahorses and penguins and things like that. Animals are being affected in different many ways. So I got to see Mother Nature and value Mother Nature in a different way. Another thing that I got to learn over spring break is being able to let's say like value the class time more. I know how I only took just my biology class, which is just a lecture and lab. Even though it was 2 classes, I got to value being able to just have focus on those 2 classes. I remember how I would take 4 classes and I was a full-time because I was taking 12 credits, and I would get so overwhelmed with all the homeworks and materials, things like that. But being able to take 2 classes, it just keeps you like your eyes directed to a certain path, and you're able to focus more. You get to like you do kind of procrastinate, but not as much as you were back then, because you do have your priorities and you have to focus in those 2 classes. So that's something that I learned. Another thing that I learned is value my teacher. If it wasn't for Dr. Ortiz, she was my instructor for Planet Society for last semester for fall, environmental plants for this semester in spring. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to pass my natural science. I'm not sure if you guys have seen my previous what I learned for fall semester. I did explain and mention how I did not pass my science course, so my associates was on hold, and if it wasn't for Dr. Ortiz, I would not be studying here today, being able to pass the class and be able to finally obtain my associates, because she had faith in me and she knew that science, I love science, but just certain topics are within the subject I struggle with a lot. And I will admit that I did previously have a learning disability. I did get tested and I got out of my learning disability, but still, like, there's some times where I still have trouble trying to learn a topic and grasping it compared to, you know, an average student who learns a topic and then understands it fully. I have to learn it more than 3 times. So if I just want to value my instructor, because I wouldn't have my associate's degree if it wasn't for her. Another thing that I learned in biology is being able to learn what was life after like the whole what do you say, like caveman and things like that, and then before caveman and the dinosaurs and fossils and things like that, and how do people see within a fossil how Earth was like ancient years ago backwards, and like geologists and how they do their research. We got to have a geologist as a guest speaker, and it was so cool how they're so fascinated with different types of rocks and then all these fossils, and being able to identify how long is this rock is for being on this earth, the type of layer and things like that. So that's something that I learned in biology. Another thing that I learned in biology is the pH testing. I didn't know that there's like high frequency, like on the levels of a pH testing based on the sink water and like water on the lake and things like that. So I got to learn how to read a pH test correctly, and the numbers and which one's good, which one's bad, and things like that. But yeah, I know this video is really short, and I learned so much information within those weeks, and like I am so happy that I get to take those informations with me and being able to apply them in my future. But overall, I am so glad that I was able to take the same instructor that I took my fall semester. I took this same biology like subject, however a different course. So I took Plant Society, and I took it again with her for environmental plants. So I'm just glad I was able to stick with that same teacher, because it's also kind of hard to be able to transition from one teacher from a biology class and the way they teach and the way they work to the next semester to a new biology teacher, and trying to be able to like adapt their teaching ways and adapt their way of how to do things and do the activities. So I was really thankful to have her as my spring and fall. So if any of my Phoenix College students are thinking about taking a science class, and if they have to take any science class just to receive the natural science credit, I do recommend taking Dr. Elena Ortiz. She is a biology teacher. I do recommend her. She's super nice, super sweet. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. I am really sorry that this is short, but please like and subscribe in this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.